hopefully you guys can hear me okay, see me okay. Nice little place here. We are coming to you today from Phil's Coffee Company near Sukhumvit Soy 51. Address is shown down below in the description. Really nice coffee. It's good coffee. It's actually really good. No, this is a Thai business, and it was apparently, let me see here, I believe it was, let's see here, I believe it won a couple of awards. It won an award, it got runner-up in some coffee competition, but let me just double check. The internet's a little slow today for some reason, don't know why. Okay, artisan coffee roaster since 2011, Thailand National Coffee Roasting Championship 2018 first runner-up. I mean, it's not a huge place, and it's a little tucked away in this neighborhood here, this Soy 51 neighborhood. If you look over here, if you look up, you can see that on top of the roof is a Volkswagen Bug. It's old, it's battered, but I don't know why they put it up on the roof. But there's a couple of nice little restaurants around here. And there's what is it? Shea Papa is right across the street. This little Greek rich restaurant, which I like Greek food. Helena is across the street. And then down the street is Thea Coffee. And I wasn't sure if this place was going to open in time. They open at 9 o'clock, which is why I started a little later than usual. I didn't want to start at 9 o'clock and then it takes me 10-15 minutes to get set up. So I started at 9:15, but they open at 9, and on the weekends they open at 9, and then during the week they're open from 8 o'clock in the morning, and every day they're open until 5 p.m. So like I said, the address is down below. I'm going to give you a little info about the place because I'm going to start doing this more often where maybe one day a week I come from, I stream from my home, I stream from Starbucks, and then another time during the week I stream from some little cafe. And I tried to get this place because it's fairly close to Sukhumvit Road. You can get to it, you just take a motorbike. You could walk, but it's a ways. But you take a quick motorbike, it won't take you long to get here. And there's quite a few places in this area. It's a nice little area. So let me read you a little bit about this. But before I get started, Thai baht 34.82. The temperature is 81, high 93, low is 79. Feel like temperature right now is 88, humidity is 83, wind 9 kilometers an hour to the north, visibility is 19 kilometers, and the air quality, which is getting to be a real problem here. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Air quality is 120, which is unhealthy. Today's shout outs: Mindy Corcoran, John Frum, Victor, Charles Akana, and Ryan M. And today we're going to talk about the Thai banking apps and some things that are going on with them. We're going to talk about elephants. We're also going to talk about elephants in the human sense, as in the obese, and this is getting to be another problem in Thailand. Also, the sex industry here, pollution. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about the recent suicides in Pattaya. And we're also going to talk about the yellow card and red card a little bit from Phuket, what's happening over there, which, you know, that's a little debatable. Everybody wants safety, but you know, it always comes with, you know, how far do you push? What is really necessary to be safe, and just how safe is it going to be? Boy, you know, YouTube has really cracked down. I mean, this video already. Hey, Jim, how you doing? This video has already been limited. The reason it's been limited is because I just used 2 S words. And I guess you're not supposed to say those. I don't have any idea what difference it makes, how much it hurts people. I understand, but it needs to be taken with context. And quite frankly, YouTube is always irritating me, and it's okay. My time is rather limited. I don't have a huge amount of time left online unless I really want to be online. Couple years maybe, and you know, one of the reasons is because of this nonsense. And I mean, you know, limiting people, and I just saw that, oh, now you're allowed to use the F word, but before you couldn't use the F word, although you can't say the F word over and over and over again, which is understandable. But, you know, if you used the F word one time, you got demonetized, which, you know, for a lot of people, it's ridiculous. I mean, seriously, people talk this way. You don't have to talk this way all the time. You don't have to use foul language all the time. But people use foul language in life. They need to get over it. And I'm really just frustrated with YouTube and their shadow banning and all this other thing. So, whatever. I don't want to get on that point because I want to keep this positive today. I want to keep it positive. Let's keep it positive. Random commenter, hey, how you doing? Jim, how you? My wife, actually, I spoke to her this morning. She is in Vienna, Austria. And I believe in about 4 hours she'll be taking off for Frankfurt. And she has a little 2-hour layover, and then she'll be in Spain. This was the journey that I was going to take, but c'est la vie. This is the way things work out. It was. She's not going to be there that long, and like I said, it's a bit expensive. The flights are expensive. Flights to Miami are expensive. They're $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 round trip. Which back in the day, I mean, I could get a ticket for $500-600 to go to Bangkok, and $250, $300 from LA to Miami. So prices have gone way up. But anyway. Now let me give you a little background on this place. They do small batch roasting here. They roast weekly. And you never have to drink old coffee. Part science and part craft, the roasting of coffee is an integral part of the journey that leads coffee cherries from the tree to your cup. Okay. Coffee culture in Thailand is still dominated by Cafe Baran, which is the old style coffee where they use the bag and maybe they put some sweetened condensed milk in there. Now, you would think that this place is owned by Phil, but Phil is not a person, it is a team. It's taken from the initials of each founder, which is Greek, and I guess Phil in Greek means love. I did not know that. I believe the owners are Taiwanese. They also supply coffee to many of the cafes and restaurants in Bangkok. And in 2014, they moved from Bang Na to Sukhumvit Soy 61, and then in 2019 they relocated to where they are currently, which is the Sukhumvit Soy 51 neighborhood. So there you got the background about this place. Well, I've mentioned going on Rumble, and all I really need to do is have the videos transferred over. It's not that big of a deal. They also have Odyssey, which is another platform, but Odyssey, they pay through like tokens, and I don't particularly like it because yeah, it's just a pain in the neck to get actual money out of it, and Rumble apparently pays quite well, so who knows. But you know, as of now, YouTube is the go-to platform, and hopefully they'll just, they'll realize that long term this is not the way to go. The way to go is to not to censor, and that they need to realize there are other platforms out there that eventually will overtake them because of some of their strict policies. But anyway, I digress. Let's get to the, all right, this is a little bit of a sad story here. Female elephant, and this gives you an idea why you don't ride on elephants, is left with a deformed back after 25 years of carrying up to 6 tourists at a time. Her name is Pai Lin, and she's a 71-year-old female elephant with a disfigured spine after decades of carrying tourists. And if you can see the photo, I'm going to put the link to the article right here. Sky Trooper, long time no see, man. How you doing? Thank you very much. I will be getting another coffee, my third of the day. This is the second. Already had my bulletproof coffee. That's good. Anyway, if you take a look at this elephant, its back is just, hey, you can see. Its back is caved in from carrying all the weight. And I will admit that when I first came to Thailand, at this place it's 100 baht. And I will say that the coffee is far better than Starbucks. They have, croissants and all that other kind of stuff. And actually, they have a little thing where if you order from this place, which must be next door, right down the street or something, it's called Le Lapin. They have ham and cheese, chicken curry sandwiches, turkey emmental, club sandwiches, Philly cheese, ham submarine, pastrami, and smoked salmon sandwiches. And if you use this thing and enter the code FILLS15, you get 15% off. I'm not ordering because I'm not eating bread. They look very good, and even a small one would be nice, but I don't want to waver on the bread. Bread is too easy to get crazy with. What I was going to say is, I have a picture where I was in this red shirt, and I went up into the mountains, and I went into the Golden Triangle, and I was on it was a tour. I took a little boat down the river. I can't remember the name of the river. I don't remember if it was the Ping River or not, but I get them all mixed up. Anyway, we get off in this place, and there's this huge German guy with us. I mean, huge. He was 350 pounds, 320 pounds, something like that. And there was, a couple of Japanese tourists, and then there was like I don't know where she was from, some European lady. we all get off at this little village, and then all of a sudden all these elephants come up, and everybody gets on the elephants. Now I won't do that. I wouldn't do that. You know, aside from it being absolutely necessary, I wouldn't do it. But back in the day, and now, it is still something that is done regularly. And I guess this elephant was rescued by the WFFT, which I don't know what that stands for. Let's see if it tells us here. Wildlife Friends Foundation, Thailand. In 2007, it was rescued from the trekking industry. Now the elephant lives within the animals group enclosures that expands to 44 acres wide and are filled with trees and lakes for them to play. So that's good. Well, this place is a busy little place here. Considering I was the first one here, it's a busy little place. So the WFFT is saying constant pressure on the elephant's backbones from tourists can result in permanent physical damage. And they show a photo of the mahout on the neck of the elephant with, looks like 3 tourists. You know, and they got the chair and the metal seat and to make it comfortable. Anyway. The only animals I'll ride is the cattle at Nana and soy cowboy. Okay. Well, that's good that you're kind to the elephants. Now, speaking of elephants, we got to speak about the little elephants. By little elephants, I'm referring to human beings. Now, I've been looking around lately, and I would say probably 40% of the men and women, especially the women, are extremely overweight. I don't remember it being that way in the past. Now, you know, it's just my own anecdotal evidence. However, if I can get this page to load, which I've been trying to get it to load for like the last half an hour. It's Statista, and it's, this is the Thailand with the air quality. That's not loading. Let's see where it is here. Well, I have the statistics somewhere. What is this? Well, what it said was this was, this is the nutritional thing. So this is what it was. The global burden of, now there's a big malnutrition problem in Thailand, which I didn't know that. I mean, it goes to figure. This is a big foreigner neighborhood. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 foreigners, including myself, in this establishment. You got the guy who looks like he's the owner, and then there's a girl and a guy who are putting everything together. But this said that this piece that I was looking at, and what I'm looking at now is not the correct one. Let me see if this is it right here. No. Sorry. Don't have it. But something like 11% of the women that were polled and the women in the statistics of this research piece are considered clinically obese, as in they are so fat they could die from being that fat. And, you know, I'm not here to bash anybody because, you know, I've had my own issues. But it seems to me that Thailand is slowly, they're regressing. And this is what I wish I could find this. I don't know if I have it up or not. I'm just not seeing it. But there is some statistical data that says that while the malnutrition the problem is getting better here. The problem with obesity is getting worse. So that means for you guys out there, more chubbies. You know, what's going to happen in the future if the percentage keeps going up and everybody goes, oh, well, the Thai girls used to be thin and lithe and lean and mean and sexy, and now they're chunky. I mean, just about everywhere you see the bubble drinks, you see the sugary drinks, you see the fast food. And this was not the case many years ago, but it is now. So, I don't know what you guys think, but it does seem to me that more and more Thais are overweight. And every time I go on the Songtao, I go on a Songtao near my house, and I would say, okay, so here goes two girls. They're not overweight. They're fairly healthy. But every time I go on the Songtao, I mean, there's like 10 people, probably 7 or 8 are women, and out of the 7 or 8 women, 6 of them are, I mean, extremely overweight. And you know, I think it has to do with just the lack of education about nutrition. I don't know. I'm not sure. You know, so it's a struggle for people. Yeah, I'm off the sugar as well, and I'll tell you what. Yesterday I had 3 squares of 90% chocolate. 3 squares, 2 grams of sugar. That's all the sugar I had all day. And that was my treat, because I haven't had anything really for quite some time. And yeah, I feel better. I feel much better without the sugar, and actually without the noodles and the bread and the pasta. I mean, there's no reason why you can't have that stuff, but you just got to keep it in check. And as far as the donuts, I mean, you know, that should be like once a year. That's a special occasion. It shouldn't be every morning. You wonder why a lot of the cops in America tend to be overweight. It's because they're going to Krispy Kreme, they're going to Dunkin' Donuts, you know. All right, anyway. Now, I told you I was going to talk about the Thai banks and the banking apps. I don't know, but I can tell you this: my pants are a little loose, my jeans, and they were 38s, so I'm probably about a 36. I used to be a 30, and I used to be, I don't know, 40, so I probably lost 4, 6 inches, something like that, at least 4. But I'll give you an idea. This is an XL shirt, and well, it's a little tight in the shoulders. In my chest and in my waist, I put on a size large shirt the other day, and it fit me. It was a little bit snug, but you know, if I continue downward the way that I've been going, and it's slowed down a little bit, I have to really watch what I'm eating, because, you know, I eat a couple of things that aren't good, and it'll add, you know, 2-3 kilos right away. But I'll be able to fit into a size large shirt pretty soon. I mean, without any difficulty. So, you know, this is my own journey, and everybody has their own thing. I don't have cheat days. I've cheated in the last 3 months and 5 days. I've cheated probably 3 times. So maybe once a month I have something. And one of the things that I had was an edible. I had one of those, you know, canvas edibles. And I just, you know, I had a couple brownies, and I stopped because I didn't want the sugar, and I didn't feel that they really did that much for me, other than just make me sit there in a fog, as opposed to making me sleepy and, you know, taking pain away and all this stuff. And I don't have nearly as much pain as I did before. Yeah, I've lost how much now? 16.8 kilos. So it's somewhere around 36, 37 pounds. And I went to go see Jono the other day, and Jono says to me, dude, you look small. What happened? You know. Anyway, about this banking thing. State-owned and commercial banks have agreed to comply with the Bank of Thailand's new cybersecurity measures by the June deadline. The measure includes facial scans for money transfers of more than 200,000 per day and changing the transfer limit to be over 50,000 bahts. So if you're going to transfer a couple 100,000 baht, you're going to have to use facial recognition. I don't usually do that. I've only had to do that a few times. Over 50 is one thing, but over 200, I don't do that too often. It's not easy, believe me. And there are times when I have temptations. Listen, I was in the little coffee shop the other day, the last coffee shop I was in, the Sarasea Coffee, which was a bit larger than this place. And I don't want to say it was sterile, but it didn't have a huge amount of personality. It was kind of like this place, except this place is a little more buzzing. There's a little more of a buzz, and it's a little more homey, comfy. I'd say this place has a tad bit more character. But they had some, oh no, that wasn't the Sarasea, the place that I went and I didn't stream from there. I don't even remember the name of it. I went there the other day to check it out, to see if I would stream from there. And I may stream from there, but it is quite small. It's about, I'd say it's about a third of the size of this place. And again, the coffee was good, but they were playing a lot of music, and they had a little outdoor area, but the outdoor area is right next to, I think it was Nawamin Road. Very noisy, but they had these little cookies. They were like chocolate chip cookies with a big chocolate chip, like a big piece of chocolate in the middle. They looked so good, and they made them at their place. They have the oven right there. They made all their own products. And I looked at it and I went, just one. It's not gonna hurt. How about you take it home to the wife? And I was like, or take it home to Alex or Nicholas. And then I just went, it ain't gonna make it home. So I didn't do it. Anyway, so a lot of banks already have biometric data, and like using your thumb. I use my thumb to log in a lot of times. But they're gonna start asking for facial scans for money transfers and adjustment of credit transfer limits on the banking apps. And the banks are going to collect your data. So, I was just thinking about this. I paid in cash here, but more and more. The Starbucks on 101, I went to the place the other day, and they were like, you don't use your card? And I was like, why do I have to use my card? No, I'm not have to, but, better. And I was like, why is it better? And I understand that what they want to do is they want to just be able to see every transaction that goes into the bank. So at least here in Thailand, this is the way of the future. This digital payment thing. I mean, even your average motorcycle guy, you go, hey, buddy, you got a scan? And they'll give you, at least they'll give you their bank number. They got it memorized. So you can transfer, and I'm keeping track of how I pay, and at the end of this month, I'm going to figure out how much was spent in cash, how much was spent using a card or scan, and how much was spent by bank transfer. Like whenever I give my kids any money, I'd say 95% of the time I make a bank transfer. They got to go to the bank themselves, or they just pay however. Today, my kid went to work. I paid for his grab taxi, and I paid for it with the card. So, anyway, check this place out. It's getting busier, picking up. There's 2, 4, 6. Well, there's still 7 people here, but it's a buzzing little place. Anyway, it says here. Some banks have collected digital facial data for more than 50% of their total deposit client base, while others were below that. Banks have only been collecting digital data for about 2 years. Yeah, this is still in its infancy, this payment by QR and all the banking stuff that they're doing. So I don't really mind most of it, but I don't particularly like when they say you must use a QR payment, you must use, you must use something digital. You can't pay with cash. I don't particularly like that. Anyway, let's move on here. Now, the big thing, really, this is a huge ordeal, and I'm gonna make a little announcement here that I've been saying it for a long time, but I haven't really thought about it all that much, and I'm starting to look into it now. And that is that the pollution here is just absolutely horrible. I mean, it is so bad. And Patia Bob sent me a message today, and it showed that in Patia it was like 26 or something like that. And here, where I am, it's like 120, which is unhealthy. And I'm looking here, Mae Hong Son right now, which is on the border of Myanmar, 430 on the air quality index. 430, that's the 6th worst in the world, okay? Thailand has 4 cities in the top 10 of worst air pollution. Mae Sai, Ban Mat Ka Thai, and Ban Piam Luang. All are, and Mae Hong Son, all are in the top 10. The worst is it right now is in Lerma, Mexico, which is 1,089. Dhaka, Bangladesh, which I've been to before, and the air quality was nasty. Take it easy, Michael. 337. What is this? Last time I was supply the farmers to the equipment today. Yeah, it's quite bad. And I can tell you that yesterday and today, I actually felt the pollution in my lungs. Like right now, I feel it. And so I was thinking about it, and I had a little chat with the wife before she left, and I said, listen, when we come back from America, when we get back to Thailand, we may keep the place where we are right now because it's pretty inexpensive. It's only 7,000 baht a month. And depending on what Alex wants to do, because there's a chance that he could stay on at the Marriott, or he could go work somewhere else. We don't really know. But he's not going to find out for a couple of months. He's still got about 3 weeks left, and then he has another 6 weeks until school is officially over. He has to submit a report, and then it'll be a couple of months before he graduates. So he's got some time before he would start working. And so when we come back, I'm gonna start scouring the coast, and I mean the coast like by Phetchaburi, Cha'am, Prachuap, Hua Hin, not so much Hua Hin, and probably not Prachuap, although Prachuap is one of the places with the cleaner air. Even Cha'am has cleaner air, but it's still not really good enough. It's like right now I think it was 61 to 120 here, so it is better, but it's still not real healthy. So I'm trying to find the best places that are near the beach, because some of the places you'd be surprised, but they're not near the beach, they're inland. So, yeah, this is something that now it's really starting to affect me. And over 1 million people have been affected by the pollution. Actually, it's something like 1.3 million have been affected by the pollution. And just listen to this, okay? Thai authorities have urged children and pregnant women to stay indoors and people to wear a mask outside as toxic smog covers vast areas of the country, leading more than 1 million people to seek medical attention. Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha begged farmers to stop burning crop stubble and called for the eradication of exhaust-spewing vehicles. The Thai Pollution Control Department asks citizens to reduce their time doing outdoor activities and use personal protective equipment if necessary. Since the beginning of the year, more than 1.3 million people in Thailand have fallen ill from air pollution, adding that more than 200,000 people were hospitalized this week alone. So, that tells you something. It's absolutely horrible. And, you know, my wife is perfectly okay for the time being, working a couple of days a week at the office, maybe spending a day or 2 or 3 at our current home, and then just getting a cheap place, some little condo apartment around the same price as what we're paying right now, so it doesn't add that much to our expenses, and you know, like within walking distance of the beach. But it's gonna happen because I can't live this way. I just can't. The pollution is too bad. I notice some days I come home, I go, man, I got a headache, and it's not because I'm so stressed out or anything. It's because of the pollution. So we got to get over this. Thailand's got to do something about it, and I don't know what they're going to do. Let me see here if I can find this out. I thought I saw this earlier. No, they're not showing me this now. Let's see here. Okay, as of January 2023, Karak in Nakhon Nayok province ranked first as the city with the cleanest air in the country, with an air quality index of 0 points. In comparison, Thammakha in Kanchanaburi province was the most polluted city in terms of air quality in the country. I mean, they waver from time to time, but it's just terrible. It's just too much. The number of people who are sick due to air pollution is scary and perhaps the worst we have seen so far. We can see the mountains in Chiang Mai, but we can't. We used to be able to see the mountains in Chiang Mai, but we can't see them anymore. In Bangkok, tall buildings are lost in the smog. Listen, I go to Jono's place. I'm up there on the whatever floor it is. It's way up. And there are certain buildings that are just covered up by smog. I'm like, what the hell's going on here, man? Thailand ranks second in exposure to air pollution among Southeast Asia countries. According to the World Health Organization, it competes with Indonesia each year to take the top spot for worst air. Well, we'll see after April when the burning season supposedly finishes, but Prayut is saying, please, I don't want to use the laws. If it's used, you will all be breaking it. I don't want anyone to be in trouble, but you must think about the quality of life of others and their health too, and that's why I would prefer to move out of this place. I've already said, listen, it's a concrete jungle. I've been meaning to put up a little video, or I'm not wearing a mask where I live. I mean, that's too much. Sorry. It's just too much. I'm I'm not going to go outside every day and have to put on a mask so that I'm healthy, so that I don't die from the air pollution. That's just ridiculous. I want to move. And you can move to some places. There was a time when Patong and also Koh Samui had the best quality of air. They don't right now, but you know, it changes every so often. But it's just, yeah, it's horrible, really. We're talking about that the other day. Chiang Mai was 246, Sukhothai was 251. You know, this is seriously unhealthy, and it's something like 10 times, 20 times worse than what is healthy. So, you know, it's going to take a little time. I have to do my research and figure it out, but I don't have to live, I personally don't have to live in Bangkok. My wife doesn't, she doesn't absolutely have to live in Bangkok. So there are other places, and that's why the research is necessary. Hang on a second here. Okay. It pays to do your research, which is, I saw something about that. If you're going to move to a country, whether it's Thailand or elsewhere, it pays to do your research. Just ask Jonna. Now, I haven't said anything, but do me a favor, if you would. Please remember to leave a thumbs up if you like this stream, you like the videos going up. I haven't put a video up in a little while, but I am going to put some up soon. Do me a favor, make sure that you hit that thumbs up, you subscribe, you become a member of the YouTube channel, a VIP member of the YouTube channel or my website or whatever. Help out a little bit because, like I said, almost every single time I upload a video, even the video with the woman that I spoke with who went blind from having a brain tumor, that video was limited. It was like, sorry, this is not suitable for advertisers. It's not because advertisers can't make any money. It's because something that was said, whether it's, you know, saying something about a brain tumor and it's medical, so we don't want any problems with that because you're not a medical professional. I don't know what the deal is, but that's the point. So you can help. You know, $1.99. It's like buy me a coffee. Everything's down there in the description. Get yourself a shirt, do whatever. You get yourself one of these shirts. There's many, many shirts and hats and all that other stuff. Just go to my website at americaninbangkok.com. I'd appreciate it. Man, it smells so good in here. It smells like chocolate croissants, and I'm getting ready to get another coffee. It smells awesome right now. Okay, so let's move on from this pollution and nutrition. Let's see. Oh, so some of the major problems in Thailand are, one of the problems is anemia, which my wife is anemic. She's on the iron pills. Overweight, anemia in women, adult overweight, adult obesity, and adult diabetes. Now more Thais than ever before have diabetes. Crazy. All right, let me go over and get myself another coffee. God, it smells so good. It's so tempting. Believe me, those things smell so good. I think she's actually cooking. They smell good. All right, give me a second. just a little FYI here. If you come here, I think it said 8 to 10. I guess that's during the week. 150 baht, you get a coffee and a croissant, so not too bad. It smells really, really good here, man. Last time I looked, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Philippines still don't have more hundreds. Eat more beef. I would say I eat more pork than beef myself, because it's a little more cost effective. I'm not even going to read that comment. Nasty ass moderator. Let me see. I just got a couple notifications here about expat living abroad, and some other things here. Let's see if there's anything good, anything worthwhile to talk about. Let's see if it shows up here. Actually, on my way home, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop at the Mall Bangkok, and I'm assuming they still have the 2-for-1 special, where you get a kilo of ground beef for 250 baht, which is about what, $7, instead of 500 grams of it. I should be zooming after this. Cheers. Okay, let me see here. I mean, that's why I got ground beef in my refrigerator. I make meatloaf, I make burgers. And you know, they have these great Texas burgers. This, it's called Gobbler. That's the brand. They have great lamb burgers. They have great Texas-style burgers. They come pre-made in patties, and they're reasonably priced. But they also have great sausage, which is awesome. Actually, I'm gonna have some today. Lamb and sage sausage. But you know, you can make your own burger from ground beef a lot cheaper, so it's like, And I've already grown accustomed to not having sauce on my things. I just put a little pepper, maybe a little salt and pepper, maybe a little olive oil, whatever, and that's it. Let's see here. All right, this isn't gonna work. Let's see here. American Airlines laying off corporate travel personnel. I mean, this is the kind of thing. Now, this guy apparently is in Dubai. He says, impossible for me to meet people. Don't ask about meeting women. I am 48. Should I kill myself? Oops, I shouldn't have said that. Demonetized. It's a question. That is in the article. I am giving info for expats living in France now, but I'm being blocked. This is the wave of the future. What is this here? All right, here's another one of these studies that says Greece is the top country to retire in. I don't know about that. Let's move on here. The air quality is definitely problematic if you're going to live in Thailand. Now, let's talk about SEX. Thai women push for greater protection in the work industry. Women's rights groups are calling for a range of broader measures to support women. These are some of your guys' women. Women's rights groups in Thailand campaign for the legalization of sex work and better support for women in the industry to mark International Women's Day on 8th of March. I didn't know it was International Women's Day, no offense, but you know. Is there an International Man's Day? Because if there's a Women's Day, there should be a Man's Day. They're arguing that decriminalizing the trade would provide greater protection to the industry's workers. I believe that. It would. The group also called for a range of broader measures to support the women, including doubling paid maternity leave to 180 days. I don't see anything wrong with that. Period leave for workers who suffer from menstrual pains. How about I get pains all the time, and nobody cares about that? Listen, this is the thing about being a man. Being a man, when you're a man, if you're in pain, well, then go to the doctor. If you're a woman, many women, they just cry and whine and bitch and moan, okay? And that's the way that it works. And they're allowed to do that. Oh, I got the cramps, I got the monthly thing. Oh, so give them a week off because of that. I don't know, but that's the answer. Take some Midol, honey. I mean, no offense. I've been around women all my life, you know, in various capacities. They're also demanding safe, free, and accessible. I'm not going to talk about that. We're going to call the S work is still illegal in Thailand. It is the next International's Men's Day is 19th November 2023. Okay, so we got a Man's Day. That's good. Thailand is a popular destination for tourists who want to explore its infamous red light district. Infamous. Filled with go-go bars, brothels, massage parlors, and other naughty activities. However, despite this openness, S work, can't believe I have to say that. I mean, it probably doesn't matter now. It's still illegal, and the workers face dangers without basic rights and protections afforded to workers in other industries. Legalizing this type of work is not just about the money, but the health effects on the workers, noting that many of the workers in the industry experience stress symptoms and anxiety attacks related to their survival. Listen, I can understand that they may have PTSD, because some young chick thinks, hey, I need the money, and so I'll be with this guy who's someone she would never dream of being in her worst nightmares. And that may cause a little PTSD. I'm sorry though, I don't buy it, okay? I really don't buy it. Not to sound insensitive, but where does it stop? It's like, every day that I walk across the street in front of the mall Bangkok, I see the same people sitting there. And again, not to sound insensitive. So every time that I pass by, am I supposed to throw them 100 baht? If I had the money, I don't know that it's the best thing to do. And listen, if they keep it, great, good for them. If it helps their life, then yeah, by all means. If I have the cash, if I got the, what's next? They're gonna be like, well, I have a QR code. I understand that. Take some Midol. Most of them don't need to take time off from work. Think about something, they're 2Q Asian. How many times have you had serious, painful diarrhea? Who cared? I got the t-shirt up on my website. It says, nobody cares, work harder. And honestly, I think nowadays, people, and you know what? So what if I get So what if I hate to say this, but if this stream remains demonetized, then I belong on Rumble. Because nowadays, most people, you think about it, we have evolved into being a bunch of PUSSIES. That's what we are. We are a bunch of just softies. Where is that tough spirit that allowed people to conquer the Wild West? Where are these things? Nowadays, you said this to me, I'm gonna whine and cry. I understand it might hurt your feelings, but you gotta get over it. You know how many times people have called me a fat, piece of shit, or a fat, you know how many times I've heard it online? If I let it get to me, I would have, that'd be the end of me. Seriously. I hear it all, I've heard it all the time. At the end of the day, like, hey, listen, it's not nice. It's not the most friendly thing, but then again, I'm sure sometimes I say some things that could be construed the wrong way, or maybe I am insensitive. But guess what? Don't you have anything better to do? Get on with life, man. Move on. Get over it. And this brings me to something that I wanted to talk about. And I think nowadays people have lost focus. And I include myself. I've been out of focus for 20 years, okay, for the most part. There were certain times when I was extremely in focus and it really helped. But what I'll say is, most people are not focused on what is important, truly important. They are focused on my feelings. Where? Get over it. Nobody cares about your feelings. Listen, my wife will go, before she would go, yeah, you're fat. You got fat. You didn't used to be this fat. And I'd be like, took the wind out of my sails, Only one person in here wearing a mask, and it's not an employee. Yeah, it took I used to, and she would go, what does it matter? You tell the truth, and, why do you care? She's like, I gotta lose some weight. What's the big deal? Acknowledge it and move on. It's not important. What's important is how do you take care of whatever is bothering you. So, I think if you ever learn it, that's another thing. And I'm curious to know. What people, and I want to do a poll on this, what people gather from my videos and my streams. Is it information? Is it entertainment? What is it? Is it a way of passing the time? Because if there's one thing that I convey to people, it's who gives a shit when anybody thinks about you? The only thing that's important is that you focus on what's important. What somebody else thinks about you. And I could have learned this a few years ago because there were some things that I was ready to do. I'm embarrassed to say now I let them get to me. And those who have been around know what I'm talking about. But actually I learned from those things. So I don't feel too bad about it. But if there's anything that you remember, especially if you're younger, now's the time to think about it. Don't worry about what everybody else thinks about it. Do the best you can, be the best person you can. Don't worry about it. Get on with life. Move on. There was one time I was in the fetal position from bubble guts. I still went out, but that was an extreme situation. Well, there's been several times where accidents happened. I didn't feel too good about them, but I'm man enough to say, hey, sometimes you gotta go, you're in an emergency situation. What are you gonna do? You handle it the best you can, and then you move on, and that's all you can do. So, Gennaro, been thinking about coming to time. Okay, there's one way to handle it. Come see for yourself. Don't think about what I say. Don't think about what some of these other knuckleheads say. Because believe me, when it comes to Thailand, when it comes to the Philippines, when it comes to some of these places, and I'm not talking about just YouTube, I'm talking about places like Thai Visa or whatever they call it now, ASEAN or whatever the forum is. Get over it. Don't worry about what these boneheads are saying. I'm sure I've made a few boneheaded comments in my day, but I think for the most part I've tried to be pretty reasonable and go ahead. It's almost all foreigners here. Looks like there's some Singaporeans, some others. I didn't have an accent. Well, I've had several, Your ears must have been burning. You must have heard. There's really, but like what I was saying is, and this is the thing. What do you think I'm going to Ecuador for? I'm going to say the chance of us ever moving to Ecuador is really slim. However, why not go? Why not check it out? Every place I've been, I've given thought to what it would be like to live there. And while living in Thailand still has a large number of positives, just like anywhere else, there's negatives, and pollution is one of them. I've been saying this for years. Pollution, traffic. Lively place. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just, the reason that I came here, now, I like Bali. I've only been there once. Would I live there? I'd have to go again and check it out. I'd have to do my research. I'd have to figure some things out. And also, it depends on what time in your life you are planning on moving. If you're over 65, listen, probably just all you want is some peace and quiet. I mean, you might as well call me semi-retired, completely retired, whatever you want to call me. You might as well call me that now. I mean, I'm over 60 now. I'm considered elderly here. And, who knows how much longer I have. I always say that, because I try to think realistically. But if you're going to come over here and you're a young man, nowadays, you damn sure better be prepared and have a plan B. If you're older and you're on retirement, you got a pension, whatever, you're set, come over, give it a go. If you're like Gennaro, come over, give it a go. Take a look around. It's like, the first time you have a Thai woman. The first time you have a Thai woman, you don't automatically fall in love with her and go, oh my God, she's the best thing ever. How do you know? I mean, date around, play the field, have a little fun. And then assess the situation and figure, hey, hey, this one really is a good one. That old Starbucks is, I don't know what they're doing, but the Starbucks sign has been taken down. They have basically drilled the front area and just, I don't know if they're putting a drainage system in or what they're doing, but they have torn up the whole area in front of Starbucks and in front of the door. And yeah, I don't know if they're gonna redo the place. She works at 101, and you know, sometimes I go in, she's there, sometimes I go in, she's not. You know, I don't know the day she works or anything like that, you know. There you go. I'd like to book tickets for Thailand, but 1,300 economy, premiums 2,026 was best business class I could find. It's hard to deal with these costs because is the juice worth the squeeze? Exactly. That's what I'm curious about. Is it worth the squeeze? You know, the reason we're going to the U.S. is because I want to see my family. I haven't seen them in years. And also because I don't know that my own family is going to be able to travel again anytime in the near future or anytime ever again, that we'll be able to go somewhere as a family all together, take an international trip, that we'll be able to put it all together, because everybody will have their own lives. I mean, my kids already have their own lives. It's really crazy. And I'll tell you something. My wife is gone now. Like I said, I spoke to her early in the morning this morning. She's sitting in the airport. It's late at night. And by now she should be, I believe she's on her way to Germany. But in the house, there's no Nicholas. Alex is gone all the time because he's working or he's at school or he's with his buddies or whoever, girls, I don't know. There's nobody at home. It's just me and Sid. And Sid has been a right prick lately. But you know, it's funny because as soon as the wife left, all of a sudden Sid is just, he's so sweet to me. He's the nicest little kitty cat. So he must know. Choke deed to her. Okay, well, I'm sure one of the many Starbucks in the mall, they're already still open. You got the one on the second floor that's open. You got the one on the floor with the where the movie theater is. That one's still open. They're still open, but they don't open until 10 o'clock on the 10:30. Is it 10? 10:30 on the weekends and 11 o'clock during the week. So the only airline with a decent price point. Yeah, no, China Airlines is not a Taiwanese airline, I don't believe. Or maybe I'm thinking of China Eastern. But I can tell you that I don't want to take a Chinese airline again. Never again. I don't want to go through. I don't want to go through China. It's not going to happen. I won't go. I'm not going through China. We're going to be going through Austria in all likelihood. So. Let's see. Man, lots of really, I mean, there are probably 10 or 15 Thai cities in the, I mean, above 250 on the air quality index. Just in the top 50. I mean, there's got to be 20 of them are Thai cities. Crazy. We took China Eastern. What? I took an airline. I don't think I went through. I went on a flight. I had a free ticket. So the last time I went on a different flight than my wife and kids, and I met them in New York. I got to New York first, and then like a half an hour after I landed, they were supposed to land. They did, and I was worried, were they going to get through? Were there going to be any problems? But they did, and then we had a long layover. Oh, the air quality in your restroom, in your bathroom facilities is probably over 2,000. It's not good. 17-inch seats. Anyway, what are we doing here? Here's, listen, here's another story. Urgent aid needed for expat mom injured in Phuket accident. I believe this is a Russian woman. She's got extensive medical and related bills because of an accident. Does it say? No, she was in a car and it overturned. They almost amputated her right arm from the shoulder blade. But they miraculously saved her limb. Yet getting her arm functional again will require a lot of money, as the task is beyond the capabilities of Thai medicine and requires treatment abroad. That's horrible. It says nothing about her insurance or anything like that, so I don't know. But it just goes to show, for sure you got to have insurance. You really should. Wasn't aware of that. Flew back from Thailand with Anna years ago. Yeah, and some more great news. I mean, I'm being facetious, really facetious, but for some reason, these European expats, there are 2 European expats, a Finn and a Norwegian, have been found in their apartments with the throats slit. And the first one was ruled as how do I say this for YouTube purposes? The first one was his own doing. That's what they ruled it, and apparently this one is as well. Horrible. Don't do that to yourself. That's just not as bad as it gets, man. What a way to go. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is because from what I saw, there was a lot more room in some of these aircraft, and they may have been in centimeters. I don't know. I gotta look. I gotta make sure. And I got short, little, stubby legs. It doesn't matter to me. We're not real tall, but. All right, listen. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Where are we at for time here? Don't forget to leave the thumbs up and subscribe. Super chat. What is it? What is it called? Super something. Check out my website, American in Bangkok. Get one of my books. They call me Farhan or ask me anything. Buy me a coffee. Use the CASHAPP. Become a sponsor on YouTube. Become a sponsor on Patreon. Check out my social media. Keep on watching. Yada yada yada. Yeah, that's what I saw. I saw 34, and I was like, okay, well, that's not too bad. I'm telling you, this place smells so good. It's got the smell of coffee and chocolate croissants. It smells too good. All right, what else we got going on here? Listen, the main story, in my opinion, the main story, is the pollution. It's bad enough that the pollution in the water is bad. So now, in looking for a place to live, in looking for a city to live, if you want to live in Thailand, not only do you have to find air pollution, a place that's free from air pollution, but you also have to look at the water. How clean is the water? Klongtan was known as one of the places that had great water and great air quality. But you know, what's the chance of living in Klongtan? I don't know. I don't know if they have that many apartments there. You know, so I don't know what the answer is. You're gonna move away from here? Everywhere you go, the only, you know, the places with the best air quality tend to be up north. North as in the Scandinavian countries, and those are quite expensive to live. I'm not making fun of your diarrhea. Don't get so thin-skinned. I've had my own issues with that thing. You know, it happens. Wait another 10 years, buddy. That's all I got to say. Well, it does now, but not always. It did at one point have the absolute cleanest air anywhere in Thailand. Now, let me see here. I'm going to take a look here. Some of the place, well, you listen, you still used to be known as Shitty Billy. So I can't take that title away from you. Let's see here. Oh, I've got that. I think I have the air quality thing out here. I mean, just a moderate amount of air pollution. 67 is 4 times the number that the WHO annual air quality guideline value. All right, in 2021, Thailand's cleanest city was Klongtan. So the island of Klongtan. The most polluted city was Lampang. So let me see here what we have. Chiang Mai, unhealthy, 243. All these places are poor. Bangkok is actually moderate, 99 is what it's showing. Mae Hong Son is severe. Nakhon Nayok, poor. I'm trying to find one that's good. I don't see any that are good. None. Other than Klongtan. The current PM 2.5 concentration in Thailand is 6 times above the recommended limit given by the WHO 24 hours air quality guideline value. That's just crazy. Now, of course, they have the most polluted cities, but they haven't ranked the top 100, but they don't have the cleanest. I don't know why. I tried looking for seawater quality reports, but nothing published. They do have, you know, there's articles out there, research and statistical data, but it's not easy to find. But you can find where the cleanest water is. But it's a bit difficult. Move during the winter to the south, spend most of the time in Portugal and Spain. Yes, they do, Gennaro. They do rate them. think they do have a. Let's see here. I don't see anything about it. I don't see anything about it. Well, you know, it may work out to where we end up getting a little place, and I'm not talking about an expensive place. There are places on Koh Koot that are moderately priced. Moderately, I mean $50 to $100. But no Starbucks that I see. Koh Koot is awesome. I really like it. It's just one of my favorite islands. Then again, we did stay in a nice place there, so it was kind of hard not to like it. I mean, you know, it was like the coffee on tap in the room was illy. There was a little swimming pool in the villa. I mean, you know, your own private swimming pool. It was fantastic. We got treated really well. It was fantastic. You know, whether you can find a place to live there if it's moderately priced is another story. And I don't know that I would want to live there just because, you know, it'd be difficult to get around. Yeah, you're gonna get island fever. I mean, you know, you can always live in Koh Samui. There's a lot of places. Well, there you go. There you go. It says that the South has the cleanest water. Well, I mean, listen, I've shown that in Cambodia. It happens in Thailand all the time. Why do you think you don't want to fall into a canal, into the Sansap Canal? What do you think goes in there? Human waste, animal waste, all kinds of waste, toxic garbage, just like in Bangkok. You know, it's, you know, I don't know what you can do. Now there is a Starbucks on Klongtan. I guess I would consider living in Klongtan. Not the one in the south in this case, but the one to the east. But that's a bit of a haul. That's 4 or 5 hours. My wife probably wouldn't go for that. She wouldn't go for that. I don't think she would. It's too far away. She needs to be able to get back and forth fairly easily. Well, monitor lizards, you know, they're shit eaters. I don't know how else to put it. They eat shit. I mean, literally, that's what they eat. You know, I keep thinking I would like to get one of these orange black coffees, but I think they put sugar in it. I don't need another coffee. I'm already zooming as it is. I've already had 2 espressos and then 1 Americano this morning that I made myself for breakfast. So and I got nothing in my stomach. I have no food in my stomach. You know, I do have this little carbonated. Anyway, I don't know what the answer is. If I find out the answer, you know, I'd be a wealthy man if I could figure out the answer to this. Here's the Thailand air quality map. Let's see here. This is pretty good, this one. Now this is back 2 years ago, the Pollution Control Department revealed that 5 southern provinces have the best air quality in the country. Satun, which Satun is way down there, Yala. I don't think you want to live there. Hey Dre, how you doing? Phuket, Suratani, and Songkhla. This is 2 years ago. Long time no see, man. Didn't see it. Well, you know, Hawaii is one of the places with good air quality as well. And somehow I don't think that I'll be living there. I don't know. You never know what's going to happen. You know? For all I know, I could go to Ecuador and I end up in Costa Rica. I could go to Costa Rica and I'll end up in America. I mean, who knows? Just not on the official YouTube app. Well, good to see you back, man. You coming back here anytime soon? All right, I'm looking at the air pollution. What is this here? 21. Where is this? Well, it doesn't just pop out, so. 20, oh wait, here we go. Okay, now here we go. I can get it. Son of a gun. 21 is, it's all in Thai. Put it on me. Here's 33. Oh man, they put it on Thai. What is this? Yeah, Chantaburi, 33. So yeah, that's Chantaburi. Down the south, Beethoven. I'm still on. What is this? Oh, this is Vietnam. 6, 5. Not very many greens in Thailand, let me tell you. Where is it? Unhealthy. Lots of unhealthy purple. Lots of purple ones. Very unhealthy. What is this 26? 26 is Beethoven. Oh, this is Malaysia. Narathiwat, 65. So really, even in the middle of Thailand, the air quality is not very good. And if you go farther south, it's a little better, but most of them are still moderate to unhealthy. Malaysia seems to have better air quality. Crazy. We don't need to talk about that, 2Q Asia. We don't have to continue to. It's okay. You can let it go. Well, no pollution is where it's at, baby. I don't want to walk around outside and my lungs hurt. And I can, like I said, I can feel it now. I would expect a little pollution in Bangkok, but by, say, Pattaya, why is there pollution? I mean, and there's been bad pollution there for the last couple of months. Everywhere I look here in Thailand, it's horrible pollution. Vietnam seems to have better air quality. Anyway, all right, so we know. You're gonna have to look around for places with good quality. And we may need to wait until after April, because that's when the burning should stop. The majority of the burning should stop. Oh yeah, well, you're not going to be much better off. I've been meaning to go back there. I want to see how things are shaping up. You know, I got to put myself in the right frame of mind to go there. You know, I see all kinds of people taking photos and putting up all kinds of things, and I, quite frankly, you know, I've been there, done that. You know, after a while, I get to the point where it's the same thing with the chowder hands. It's the same thing with, you know, photography and certain aspects of photography. After a while, I just go, I don't want to do that anymore. You know, yeah, you'll find a shack. Listen, I wouldn't want to live in Ho Chi Minh or Hanoi if you paid me. Honestly, the last time that I went there, it was so busy, and the noise pollution alone was horrible. And we're inside of a cafe, so I understand there's going to be noise. But noise pollution alone in those two cities is so bad. How can you hear yourself think after a while? You get absolutely no peace and quiet, and I think that's something for me that is important. I gotta have peace and quiet. I need to be able to let myself settle and relax. In order to relax, I don't want to hear motorcycles revving their engines up, racing by. I don't want to hear tuk-tuk after tuk-tuk going on. I don't want to hear all this. So what maybe didn't bother me much in the past, or I didn't really give much thought in the past, now I don't want to. And some people, they don't mind living in a big city where it's very, very busy and it's noisy and congested. I was talking to the taxi driver on the way over here, and he was talking about, oh, you should go to Hua Hin. I said, Hua Hin? I said, when was the last time you went there? He said, oh, it's been a couple of years. I said, listen, I went there 1.5 years ago, and there was traffic. Actually, it was me and 2Q Asia. We went with Patia Bob, and there was traffic. If you weren't walking on the street somewhere, there was traffic. You had to sit and wait to go down the street. And, you know, it wasn't as bad as, say, in Bangkok. But it was getting to the point where I'm like, wait a minute, what in the... You know. So, to me, it's already too built up. I mean, when I first started going to Hua Hin and Prachuap, they were still places that were dominated by Thais. It was Thai tourists. Very seldom did you see foreign tourists, Western tourists walking around. And if you did, there was a smattering of them. Well, you know, there is a lot to do. There is a lot. There is a lot to do in Bangkok. But I am getting to the point now where I just don't like it anymore. And I do like the convenience of, you want to go somewhere, you jump on the SkyTrain. However, if I want to go somewhere, like this morning, I call the Grab. It's my own personal driver. You know what I mean? And I know guys that, you know, they're retired and they need some help. They pay for a girl to help them out at the house in whatever capacity. But they've got a driver on standby. You know, they pay him like 15 grand, 20 grand a month. They got the driver on standby. The driver takes them everywhere, goes and runs errands for them, does everything. No, it's not. They're not even open in the morning, Gennaro. Sorry. I won't be going there. That might cause an issue with the wife. Not only that, I don't want to go there. Seriously. That's another thing. I just don't care. I don't care about going to these places anymore. What do I want to go to these bars for? For what? The vast majority of the women at Thurman, they're skanks. You're not going to find yourself a sweet little honey, and if you do, you're going to get lucky. That's luck. The majority of the time, you're going to find some skanky hoe. It's the only way I know how to put it. You're going to find a skank. Now, Gennaro, I don't know. I may have you wrong, but I don't think that you want the skankiest of the skanks. I think you want the lovely barista type. Random commentator, you have helped me once again immensely. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Anyone remember what LA smog looked like back in the late 70s and early 80s? That was real smog. I used to live, when did I move there? When did I move to LA? It was about, let me think here. 1983. So yeah, LA was horrible. I really want nothing to do with LA anymore. California, even the majority of the states. And Patia Bob, and you live here. There are many people who live here. They're still, and Jono used to do it. He doesn't do it as much anymore. Oh, did you see what so-and-so said in the United States? What about AOC? I don't give a flying, like I said. If you focus on what's really important, most of the time, that stuff ain't important anymore. I don't live there. I never want to live in the States there again. And if I was to live there, it would be for a short term only. I don't care. I care about here. And now there are considerable problems here, and this is the thing. I said to my father many years ago, I didn't know how prolific this statement would be at the time. I had gone to London, and I had been given the okay to go for like 3 weeks. After 2 weeks, I made a phone call. And apparently the boss had said, well, if you're able to take off for 2 or 3 weeks, we don't need you anymore. So I didn't have a job. And it was like, oh, I need to go back home. Oh, no, I said, I'm going to stay here for even longer. He wasn't going to just give me the job. So I was like, okay, if I'm out of work, I'll go back when I go back. And that's what I did. I went back after like a month. And one of the things that I said was, to my old man was, hey, you know what? When it comes down to it, you can live anywhere in the world. And at the time, I didn't really know how this was possible. There was no, what do they call it? Independent, location independence, digital nomad, location independent. And the planting the flag was something that came well before the digital nomad phrase. And I said that to him, and then now I think about it and I go, wow, you know how true it is. You get yourself in a bit of a situation where, you know, you got a few $1,000 coming in. You can live a lot of places, and you can live quite comfortably, and you don't have to put up with any of the BS. So it's about what you want. If you're going to come over here, it's about what you want. For Gennaro, he may just be tempted by the lure of the triangle. The magic triangle may be all he needs. And he'll forget about some of the bad pollution. He'll forget about some of the negatives, because really, do the negatives affect me all the time? No, they don't. Now, cost of living has gone up here. There was something I saw the other day, and I'm like, wait a minute. This used to be 100 baht. Now it's 130 baht. It went up 30% in the last year. I'm like, how are the prices going up so much? You know, I mean, little things like that. But at the end of the day, and the pollution and the traffic, but you don't have to live in Bangkok. We live in Bangkok because my wife went to school here, my kids have gone to school here, and once you put them in school, if you want to change schools, then in most schools, most private schools, you're going to have to pay some tea money, you're going to have to pay an entrance fee, and it's a couple 100,000 baht a kid. You're talking about $6,000 to maybe $9,000 per kid to move schools, which is how they lock you in, so they get you long term. If you're a single guy and you got no kids and you're coming over here, you got a lot more freedom. Stay light, stay nimble, stay mobile. You know, all you gotta do is have enough stuff to live your life the way you want. You know, one small backpack, one duffel bag, you got a laptop, you got a camera, you got whatever it is you want, whatever you need, and yeah, that's rule number 758. Don't travel for the triangle. If it starts being a hassle to travel back and forth for that triangle, it ain't worth it. But the triangle is what locks guys in. You know, I mean, think about it. If I hadn't gotten married, maybe I would end up in, I would have ended up in Indonesia, Japan, Cambodia, who knows? I don't know where I would have ended up. But I didn't. And that's okay, because, you know, when I was single, I was out of control most of the time. You know, I had my little sporadic times of stability, but for the most part, I was out of control. I went nuts. Well, I don't know. I mean, you know, do you really want to live in a foreign country? That's something else you got to think about. You know, not everybody has to move. Some people are happy with their lives back in the States or in the UK or wherever, in Australia, wherever it may be. A lot of Australians are very happy there, and Australia actually has great air quality. They have great quality of life. People that work get quite a bit of time off. Australia is rated as one of the best places to live in the world. All right, I gotta turn my mic off because my battery is going low on my phone. It doesn't take all that long. All right, hopefully that'll work. Good morning, Mr. Dowlow. What's happening? We were talking about your home country. I was saying nice things about it. Like the air quality is good. Ireland is rated very high. And let me tell you something. The only reason that I don't think I would live in Ireland is because of the weather. My mother has said the people are extremely friendly. They're very nice. Quality of life is good there. Yeah. Yep, this is Bangkok. Okay, Mark. There you go. There's Mark. He's the guy I've been referring to. Two things. Go to my community tab, read that article. Mark was the subject of an article in New Yorker magazine, and also go to look up AMDocs, the American Documentary and Animation Film Festival. That's my buddy's festival. It begins in about 2 weeks. If you are in LA, head on over to the film festival in Palm Springs, or you're in the Palm Springs area, go over there, say hello to my buddy Teddy G, tell him that I sent you. He'll be happy to know that people are coming to watch the movies, the films. Got some great stuff there. I don't care about the multicultural aspect of countries, really, to be honest. I don't have a problem with everybody sticking together, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just I don't think that it needs to be forced upon people. That's why it's in the top 5. Neither is Norway. Norway is supposedly one of the best places for air quality. But these places, Norway, Australia, what was the other place? It wasn't Sweden. Maybe it was Finland, I don't know, but rather expensive. So, if you're looking for a better value for your money, you might want to look elsewhere. Yeah, Australia ain't for the cheap. New Zealand especially ain't for the cheap. So, we're always talking about this. Where is the perfect place? I'd like to give my top 10. I got to think about it because my top 10 has changed. There's a difference between if you had money, where are you going to live? Hey, I'd like to live in Zurich, Switzerland part-time, 3 months out of the year. Seriously, I'd like to live there for a couple of months. You were looking at Liechtenstein. I also like Luxembourg. There are other places in Europe. Listen, I'm not opposed to Malta or Greece or some of these other places. Sardinia, at least for a couple of months. If I was going to move around, you're talking about, I'm not talking about unlimited funds. I'm talking about, you got enough money to live in any of these places. I'm not saying you got to be filthy rich. You don't have to be one of these nomad capitalists where you're a, 8-figure, 9-figure person looking to move. As long as you got enough money coming in every month. And what is enough? It depends on where you live. It might be, in some places, it might be $4,000 or $5,000 is plenty. In some places, it's not enough. You might need 10 grand a month. But if you got the money, then you don't have to think, okay, where can I get a place that fits my budget? It's cheap enough. Sardinia is a very, supposedly a great place. They've got a lot of great seafood there, good fresh food. I spent about a month in France, in the south of France. It was awesome. I really liked it. I really liked it a lot. And I only had one issue with with a French person, and that was a taxi driver. I was running late, and he was a little testy. Other than that, I had a great time. We'd go out to coffee, we'd go to cafes, we went all over the place. And, there was one woman in particular, she made it a point to teach us a word or two of French every day. Very nice, a very, very lovely woman. We went into the vineyards of France and stayed in a castle. It was me and 2 other guys. We had a nice place there. Great experience, but I don't know about living there versus, visiting. It just depends on where you go. I would suggest you don't go to a big city. Personally, I wouldn't want to live in Paris. I don't know that I'd want to live in Zurich. I'd have to live outside of the city. I mean, just because then, listen, you get into one city, most cities, you're going to have the same kind of problems. There's some nice places there in France, Italy, all these European countries. There's some great places. I'd like to go to Croatia. I'm jealous of my wife, you know. She got to go to Vienna, although she didn't get to go anywhere because it was late at night. She was like, I don't want to go out late at night because, you know, it's midnight there. She's like, what am I going to go out for? The east coast of Africa, actually the west coast of Africa, like Namibia. That's a place that kind of interests me. But also places on the East Coast as well. There's a few that I'm interested in. That's the thing, you know, the world is a big place. You can go wherever you want. My buddy went to, where did he go? Mozambique. The guy at the film festival, who's running the film festival, he went to Mozambique. He said some of the places he went were absolutely fantastic. There's nobody on the beach, and there's some guy that'll walk out with a beer on a silver platter. He comes out and gives you the beer, and the people were super friendly, and you know. So I want to go to Spain and Portugal someday. Yeah, Portugal's on my list. I don't know about Spain. There's some places that I'd like to see in Spain. I don't know, you know. And my wife, she's not too keen on Spain. I think I'd rather like somewhere like Malta, Sardinia, a Greek island. But you know, again, visiting, living, big difference. That's rule number 1,840. Living in a place and visiting are much different. So, wow, we're running out of time, man. 2 hours passes quickly. Is 2 hours too long? I know they do. See, one of the things that I'm kind of trying to morph myself into is more of an expat information provider, a expat concierge, if you will, as opposed to just Thailand, because Thailand is not the only place where you can live, and it's not the only good place. It's just like America is not the greatest place. It's great in many ways, but it's not necessarily the greatest. It depends on what you want out of a place. So there's many places, you know, we talk about them all the time. We talk about Costa Rica, Ecuador, Portugal, Spain. You know, there's Albania. Some people like Armenia. Some people like Croatia. Some people actually like France. Some people like Mexico. Some people like Uruguay. There's a lot of places that you can live. So Gennaro, I hope you are doing your research, but stay tuned. I'll have a lot more information about that. I think it's the wave of the future. People don't want to be stuck in one place. They don't want to only live in their country. I think more and more people want to live and experience different cultures and different countries. And I do think there's something to be said for that old, what is it, the 5 flags, or what is it? You know, I forget what they called it. It was the old way of saying it. It was, you know, like back when they said independent, a location independence, independent. It was something about the 5 flag theory or something like that, where, you know, you keep your money in 1 or 2 places. You've got 2 or 3 passports if it's possible. You live in one place, you keep your money in another, you know, the majority of your money in another, and you got another place where you can go, and, you know. My wife has asked about that, asked about doing that Camino. She wants to do it. And we may end up doing it at some point, but, you know, I'm getting up there in age. I don't have the same pep about traveling, which is why I'd rather talk about Thailand, go do a couple places here and there. talk about Thailand and just check out different cafes and find my favorite cafes and that kind of thing. I don't want to be traveling all the time anymore. I've done my share of traveling. I've literally taken hundreds and hundreds of journeys around the world and around Thailand and Southeast Asia, and it's just not as fun for me. I think the opposite. People will stay in their own cocoon, live virtually. Well, I think there's going to be that's a good point, but I think there's going to be two ways of looking at it, two mentalities, if you will. I think there's going to be people who they want to stay in their own cocoon, like me. Now I kind of want to live in my own cocoon, and if I was to break out of that, it's a big deal. It's a big step for me. When you are 60 years old, 7 years old, it's a big step to say, I'm picking up, I'm moving. I'm going to live somewhere halfway around the world, and I'm going to live somewhere differently. Wow, Dalo. That's crazy. Time does fly. Like I said, for me, I've been many places. I've been traveled on other people's dimes and traveled on my own dime, and I just don't particularly like the way that the airports are set up nowadays. I remember what it was like just to walk into an airport. You walk up to you check in, you go through your gate, boom, you just walk onto the airport, to the airplane, and that was it. And those were the good old days. And when you've seen the good old days, and then you see the crap that goes on now, it's not as fun for me. It's a lot of work to travel, and that's what people don't understand. I mean, if you're going just for fun, then you're like, okay, I'm going to get there, and okay, it's a little bit of a hassle. For me, I'm carrying a camera most of the time. I'm carrying my phone to shoot video. I got a gimbal. I got this. I got that. So, your pack is 4 kilograms, and that's the way it should be. My wife went to Spain. She's got to do work there. She's got to have business suits. She's got to have this. She's got to have that. And I'm like, listen, keep it to a minimum. She's got a small bag that she had to check in, and she's got a backpack with her laptop and important things, and that's it. And in the old days, she might have went with 2 bags and a big backpack, and I think that was the movie, which I forget the name of it, but he was with his son. I think Emilio Estevez was in that, where his son died in the movie or something like that. I forget what it was, but that was a pretty good movie. And I would like to do that. I would like to do that just for the exercise and the experience, because it takes time. And you're not walking on the side of the road like when I was walking in Thailand, so your wife is going to be bitching and moaning the whole way about, you're going to die. You're going to get hit by a car. There's people out there that are drunk, they're on the yaba. That's what it was called, The Way, yes. And that was a very good film. So, there are certain things that I do like. I do like being able to jump on a Songtao. Sometimes I get back, I got some groceries, and I'm like, I'm just going to take a motorbike back. I don't want to take a taxi because the taxi's going to be a hassle. There's traffic. I'll just walk across the street, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to take a motorbike. And then I go, I got to go to the ATM, or I want to go get some hard-boiled eggs from the 7-Eleven or something like that. Then before I know it, I walk outside, there's a Songtao. I'm like, you know what? 8 baht. I'm like, what's that? 24 cents? So for 24 cents, I get, I get my ride home, and it's very, Anyway, I think becoming an expat is the way to go. Although I still say you probably should build up, if you're younger, you should build up some life experience, at least 10, 15 years. Because then you have something to draw from. If you're some 22-year-old kid, you know, the chance of you going out and partying your ass off and, you know, living as minimalistically as you can and never progressing is fairly high, unless you have some really good skills, some really marketable skills. Yeah, I mean, you gotta watch where you walk here, for sure. And if you're on the side of the road like I was, I mean, you know, there was a reason why I took my wife's advice, I took my mother's advice. I don't usually, I don't want to say cave in, but I don't usually capitulate. I don't usually give way without a little bit of a fight, but I didn't fight that because I knew they were right. And, you know, in a way, you know, like, it's a little selfish, you know. I got responsibilities I got to take care of, and you know, it really feels good that Alex has made his own way, and he's just about done with school, and he's got his whole life ahead of him. Yeah, that was pretty bad, man. I was scared. That was actually scary. I was scared. And the reason I was scared is because it wasn't the middle of the day where some guy's going to run out and yell at his dogs and the dogs will run away or something. It was in the like early morning, like 3:30 in the morning, and it was raining. Crazy. And they were big. They were big dogs. They weren't little ankle biters that, you know, these were dogs that could rip your throat out. So, and you know, I see this Helena Greek kitchen. They're just starting to open up here. And I remember some of the Greek restaurants that I went to in Palm Springs and here in Bangkok. They're no longer around now. They're the ones in Bangkok. I used to go to my wife with one. I went to my buddy with one. I got my buddy Scott from who lives in Cambodia now. He and I went to a great Greek restaurant, and I had taken my wife there several times. But you know, that's something that I do like about Bangkok is whatever kind of food you want, you can find it. You go into the grocery. This is why I don't want to change groceries. I go into my grocery. I know I can get anything I want. You want tapas from Spain? Boom, you can get them. You want chorizo? You can get them. You want any kind of cheese? You can get them. You can get it. You know. Now it's Foodland, which I haven't been there in a couple of years at least. And it's decent, but I don't think it's as good as the Fresh Mart in the Mall Bankabi. And for the life of me, I don't know if anybody, have any of you ever seen a mall, aside from maybe Central World when it was burned down, have any of you ever seen a mall voluntarily shut down completely for 5 months? I've never seen it in my life. So all I can say is they probably are going to make it completely different and make it worthwhile. That's all I can say. I don't know. I would have to say, if they're going to spend that kind of money and lose that kind of money, I would think that it's going to be a worthwhile endeavor for them. Anyway. Guys, we're just about out of time here. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been really fun. I'm sure the people in the U.S. are sleepy now. I don't even want to think about what 2Q Asia is doing, laying in bed right now. Listen, I don't dislike Bangkok, but there are enough negatives. And with the, really, there's, I would think that first they could keep the littering to a minimum and actually clean the place up. They can make the place cleaner. That's one. Clean up the canals, clean up the garbage on the side of the road. And then if they got the air pollution in check, the only thing I would say is it's a big city. There are times you like it. Whenever you can do whatever you want to do. You can go to a concert. You can go to, if you're into it, you can go to a museum. You can go to temples. There's all kinds of stuff to do. You can go to. There's so many coffee shops now. I could spend 10 years and I probably would never get to all of them. My girl works near Bangkok Mall. Hope that yellow line opens soon. It's supposed to open June 1st. I'll send the coffee. Thanks. Yeah, the yellow line is supposed to open June 1st. So we only have really 2.5 months and it'll open up. And I've taken a lot of photos over time. And you can see the progress. They just have to lay the concrete down, basically. That's all they have to do, to lay the concrete to walk. If you look at Ramkhamhaeng and you look at, they already have the station set up for the MRT. And they already have the station set up for the, well, it's the MRT, but it's the monorail, the yellow line. That's the monorail portion of it is completed. Even most of the stations are almost completed. It's just about putting that concrete slab down where you can walk. It's interesting to see, but now they have, like I said before, they have the section up that's going into the mall, so people can drive right out of the mall and they hit the overpass, boom, and then they're down, Siri Thai Road. They'll go right into Siri Thai Road, so. Anyway. Now it seems like the rush is over. It's 11:30, almost 11:30 here. More people coming in. Busy little spot here. Really, they do pretty well considering there's not all that much parking and there's no outdoor seating. I mean, people just park on the street and just walk in. There's no outdoor seating. But there are a couple other places in the vicinity that I'm going to be going in the next few weeks. I've got my list out again. I'm checking them off one by one. The last place I went to was Sarasea Coffee. And then before that, or after that, I went to another place, which for the life of me, I can't remember the name of it. It's a small place. Progress is slow, but consistent. Considering I'm almost into a large shirt now. I mean, I can fit into it, but it's just too tight. First of all, Gennaro. Therme is, the coffee that they serve there is not, it's not espresso. You're not gonna get a decent espresso there. You're gonna get shit coffee, okay? And I'm not going there in the daytime. First of all, it doesn't open. don't even know what time they open. I don't think they open until the evening. I'm not going. Second, Hooters, forget about it. It's a waste of money, waste of time. I don't care. Even the chick that was, that, you know, you guys saw before. I mean, come on, really? I'm going to say this. You can take it however, well, yeah, you got a point there, 2Q Asia, but I can go to, what is it, Dean and DeLuca for that. I can go to Crystal Design Center for that and get some shit coffee. But what I'm going to say, and I'll say this to you as well, Gennaro, aim higher. Aim higher. If you can get one that's lower down on the scale, and you have your fun with it, that's great. But then say goodbye. Adios, baby. It's been fun. See you later. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, you know, the Thailand, everybody goes, oh, it's so cheap. Get real, man. Get real. It's not that cheap. And this, let me tell you, Gennaro, the Starbucks Reserve along the river, no. It's not really even worth traveling all the way over there. Honestly, it's not. I don't particularly like Icon Siam. And to travel all that way over there, just to go to a Starbucks Reserve. I don't care if it is a reserve. You want a nice view, I'll go somewhere with a nice view. I'll find a couple places. It's not that difficult to do. That is one positive about being in Bangkok. Yeah, it's crazy. Listen, I can tell you that if you can get a decent coffee here, and you can bring the cost to about 15 baht a cup for an espresso. For me, I can get one for about 15 baht. I used to do the illy, and that was about 35 baht a cup. Which ain't cheap. I mean, that's a little more than a buck a cup. But, you know, for me, sometimes I'll be like, do I really want to go out and have a coffee? I can just go home. I got coffee. I got plenty of coffee at home. I just go have a nice cup at home. What I need to do, and I still haven't done it, is refurbish my Roke, because I can make it a better machine. I can clean it up. I can clean it up with some... oh, come on. It's Illy with a Y. Illy is much better than Starbucks coffee. We brought 2 packs of 10 capsules, 780. See? So that's, you know. $34 baht a pop. There are so many coffee places around now, and so many, you know, coffee roasters, and we pick our own beans, and you know, end of the day, it all comes out the same. I just want the flavor to be good. The place here, they have good coffee here. I will say that. They have very good coffee. Now let's see here. This guy was wearing a mask outside. There's one guy here. Oh, he just took it off. One of the employees over there has a mask on. So, you know, slowly but surely people are starting to take off their masks. And, you know, what's funny is because of the air quality, maybe they should keep them on. Maybe I should be wearing one because of the air quality. I should wear a mask for a week whenever I go outside and then show you guys how dirty it is. Because it'll be filthy, I guarantee you. Best cafe experience in Bangkok. Yeah, you know, it's really hard for me to gauge that, but I would say one of the best places that I've ever been is that place. It's a ways away. I was going to get a shot, a COVID shot. It was that southern, the Muslim place. I don't remember the name of it. And it was quite a distance from my place, but they had a big water thing. Yeah, that place was good. They really made it good. That's the I Don't Know Coffee. So hello to them. Hello to Chris and to Andy from I Don't Know Coffee. And I've been waiting for 2Q Asia to come back to go there. Maybe I should just go there. They got a nice place there. A little bit far from my house, but that's all right. And then the Muslim place was good. And I don't know, I'm trying to think of other places. Yeah, me too. Me too. Now, before I go, I got two more things to say. Please leave a thumbs up. Subscribe. I'm going to say it once again. I got to do my spiel. Contribute in some way. Keep watching. Contribute financially. Whatever you do. Buy something from my website, AmericanInBangkok.com. Get a shirt, get a book, whatever you do. Or just keep watching. That's good too. Help a brother out. But one of the guys who is a member of this channel, CJ, he asked me, how much food do you spend on food every month? And I was like, well, it's a bit hard to gauge because we got my kids and, you know, they come over, and every time they come over, my wife wants to make sure they got a really nice dinner and we can all eat together, which doesn't always happen anyway. Because either they're asleep or they're busy or whatever. But I tallied it up. And as of yesterday, it was, let me think here, 150 and another 25. $175 in 11 days. So if you multiply that times 3, that'd be 525. So say $500 a month. That's just for me. That's my food. Maybe I buy a milk or something like that. It's included in there because I don't drink milk. I'll give that to Alex. But for the most part, that's separate from what I spend and from what my wife spends on the boys and what my wife spends on herself, because she almost never eats what I make. Although she picks at it sometimes. If I make bacon, she'll want to eat a piece of bacon. Can I have a piece of that bacon? Keep your hands off my bacon. Bacon, boy. Anyway. So that gives you an idea. And that doesn't include coffee. I think I tallied it up. I tallied the coffee up. And I think I spent, it was about $30, $35 on the coffee in 10 days, 11 days. Actually, I think it's 15,197 $. I had a little growth spurt, and now it's slow but steady. French press coffee, about some grinded coffee. Lotus, 80 baht for the pack. Yeah, sometimes I get them to grind it. You know, a place like this, they would grind it up for me if I wanted, or I could grind it myself, but probably when I go home, I don't know, maybe I'll bring some Thai coffee back for the folks, and I'll come back here with some Colombian coffee, or I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, what else was I going to say? Is that it? I think that was it. I think what I wanted to talk about was how much was spent on food. So you figure if it's 500 baht, that's 16,500 baht in 11 days. That's that's more than 1,000 baht a day. What is that? 13. Used to feel like an exclusive YouTuber channel. It is still an exclusive YouTuber channel. Not everybody likes me. There's a lot of people that don't like me. Or I might have 150,000 subscribers. I don't know. So what does that work out to? $350? 400? No, 360. $330. What's that? How much per day? 1,300 baht a day or something? But you know, that's, I mean, my refrigerator is full. We got, there's plenty of food in the fridge, in the freezer, and you know, like if you go and you, like one of the things that I buy, like I've been saying, is this gobbler sausage. 6 links, and it's anywhere from about 245 to 275 baht. Figure that out. That's almost $9. It ain't cheap. You know, I'm not lovable. Nobody loves me. Whatever will be. Que sera, sera. People love me great. If they don't, that's the way it goes. I need to buy myself a few more shirts myself. No, if you sleep in the same room, not if you sleep in the same room. Well, I could say the same thing about you. Come on. Listen, I'm too old to be sleeping in a room with anybody but my wife. Well, that goes both ways, Gennaro, believe me. It comes out from both ends. From the both of us. Let's not what's the word I'm looking for? Let's not mince words. Well, that's good. Good to know. So, hopefully we will never have that experience again where we sleep in the same room together. No offense. I'm just too damn old. I don't want to sleep with anybody. If I want to, whatever I want to do, I don't want to feel like somebody else is bothered by it, or I'm bothered by them, or you know, even with my wife, we have got to the point where we know each other's likes and dislikes, and how we have to sleep with each other. I don't know about Chucky snoring, and I don't really care, and I'll never find out. So, speaking of Chucky, I need to give him a message, and maybe maybe in the near future I will have him on. I gotta call Mark, the guy who was captured by the Taliban and who's been to Thailand many times. I gotta call him after this stream, and maybe he'll be on a stream in the next couple of days, or we'll record a video together. I don't know, but he will be on soon. Like I said, Chucky will be on soon. the insurance lady should be back from wherever she is. I think she's in Australia. And then my friend Teddy G, who runs the film festival, he should be on soon. So there we go. All right. Yeah, it's time to go get a grab and get on to. Yeah, the mall is open now. I can go there and get a couple things to eat. Alex likes to come home and have his meal ready. He doesn't want. He's very tired when he comes home. It's like, you know, my wife usually takes care of him, but because I'm alone, I got to make sure he's got plenty of food. Yesterday he had Vietnamese banh mi because I can't eat the bread, and I thought, wow, that looks really good. I'll give it to him. Tonight I think he's having pad thai, and he's got some Indian butter curry we'll have, and then he's got, you know, I make him an omelet here and there, and then we got some old lady food down the street, so he's set for the rest of the time that my wife is gone. But anyway, yeah, choke D, they'll joke on my, it's just good luck and see you later, alligators. Yeah, anything else to say? If anybody wants to say anything, just leave a comment down below the video. Put the thumbs up and all that other good stuff. And yeah, I don't know when I'll be back, but I'll see you when I see you. Soon. Won't be too long. Anyway, it's time to go. It's been extraordinarily long today, a longer than usual stream. I always say I won't do it, but I do it anyway. So, I'll talk to you guys later. Live from Phil's place, Phil's coffee shop. All right. Hasta la vista, baby. Choke D.